This is K1DBC. All stations please stand by. The DRC Learning Net will start in 5 minutes. This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations please stand by while the repeaters are placed into net mode.
L off.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. I am Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. This is a directed net for the purpose of connecting amateurs seeking help or advice with Elmers willing to mentor. This net meets every Wednesday, except the third Wednesday of the month at 1930 hours, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, on W0TX repeaters, 145.490, which is linked with 448.625. Both have a negative offset of 600 and a tone of 100. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? For recognition by Net Control, please use your call sign. Everyone is welcome. This is an on-air meeting for amateurs seeking help and Elmers giving their time to mentor. If you have any questions for the Learning Net and don't yet have your license or otherwise wish to contact the net, you may do so via email at drclearningnet@gmail.com. We also have a public mailing list at groups.io/g/ham-learningnet. And you can find us on YouTube, live streaming and past nets on youtube.com/WEREGR8. Or if you search YouTube for W0TX DRC, you can find it there as well. This is K1DBC Net Control. We will begin by inviting Elmers only to check in with or without traffic. All Elmers, please check in now.
Alpha 0, Juliet Kilo, AA 0, JK, good evening.
All right, Net Control wishes to thank and acknowledge the following Elmer. AA0JK, Fred, thank you for checking in. All other check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. That would be the first number after the first letter after the number in your call sign. Please try to use ITU phonetics if you can as you check in and indicate if you have traffic or questions for our Elmers as you do. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Zero, Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin, Lakewood, no traffic.
Good evening, Duran. Tom, K6HJV. That's Happy Charlie Vampire. No traffic.
Whiskey Delta 6, Delta Oscar Kilo, Rich in Arvada, no traffic. Good evening.
Kilo 0, Lima, Alpha India, K0 LEI, Larry Lakewood.
November 0, Echo Yankee Zulu, Jim in Littleton, no traffic.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bromfield.
All right, we'll hold up there for just a moment. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. K0KPS Kevin, K6HJV Tom, WD6DOK Rich, K0LAI Larry, N0EYZ Jim, and AF0E Alex. Thank you all for checking in. Anyone else? If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, and you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, please check in now.
W0TX repeater.
Okay, this is K1DBC Net Control. We would like to, or I'll open it up for the whole alphabet. If you'd like to check in to the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, we're taking all calls, Alpha through Zulu. Please check in now.
Kilo Echo 0, November Romeo Echo, Jim in Littleton with traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Sierra Uniform Mike, Jonathan Lakewood with traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening. No traffic. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Alpha Foxtrot Quebec, Troy in Denver. No traffic.
Kilo 0, Yankee Echo Sierra, Ken in Broomfield, no traffic.
W0 Foxtrot, Foxtrot Charlie, no traffic in Denver.
All right, we'll hold up there for just a moment. Wait a minute. Next. Sorry about that. Net Control would like to welcome all the following check-ins. KE0NRE Jim with traffic. KE0SUM Jonathan with traffic. N0TRP Jim. KF0AFQ Troy. K0YES Ken. And W0FFC Jerry. Thank you all for checking in. All right, I'll make another call. A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. If you'd like to check in for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, we're taking all calls. Please call now with your name and call sign. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. One more call at the moment. If you'd like to check in for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net with or without traffic, please do so now with your name, call sign, and let us know if you do have traffic or not. Please call now. Okay, hearing nothing just at the moment. There'll be plenty of other opportunities to check in throughout the net here. Again, you can check in on YouTube if you like, if you don't have a call sign just yet. And yeah, let's go to the first person who had traffic, KE0NRE Jim. The net is yours. Go ahead.
KE0NRE here. Thanks for taking the net tonight, Daron. I've got a Yaesu s.t.e.m 400, and what I'd like to do is to be able to use it with WinLink. And I've looked from top to bottom on the internet for all kinds of combinations of things, and I have not yet found someone who has been able to make that combination work, the s.t.e.m 400 and WinLink software. I've heard references to there being various problems, or it's not going to work, or it does work but no further explanation. So I wonder if anybody who's on the net tonight, or anyone who knows someone who has made that combination work, and if I could tap your brains for the secret sauce that makes it happen. Back to net, KE0NRE.
All right, KE0NRE, this is K1DBC. Just a very precursory search here. It looks like on the Tapper, TAPAR site, there was a link for an article that stated the s.t.e.m 400, well, they're stating DR here at least, specifically does not allow for external access to its TNC. But let me throw it back out to the net. Anyone have any knowledge of the s.t.e.m 400 and trying to use packet WinLink? Go ahead.
LAI.
Yeah, K0LAI, go ahead.
That's K0LAI. My question is, and I don't know a lot about the Yaesu 400 and 300, but question is, does it have a KISS mode for the built-in TNC, and maybe you can set it to KISS mode in WinLink to utilize it?
KE0NRE here. As far as I can tell, there is nothing that you can do from the outside of the radio through its data connection link to send any kind of information to it, into it, except to program the channels. It has an output link that will receive APRS information and send that out, although it's apparently in a non-standard format, but nothing that lets data traffic go the other way except to program the memory channels. Back to that, KE0NRE.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Thanks for the follow-up there, Larry and Jim. Just stumbled upon this article, or this groups.io page for, it's Direwolf, which I believe is Linux-based packet radio software. But there was somebody asking about the s.t.e.m 400, and they stated that the s.t.e.m 100, they were able to get 9600 baud Direwolf through it, through a Yaesu CT167 cable, a sound card, and some way to trigger the PTT, and then you need to get some transistors and I think put together a little kit together. But I'll see if I can find that. If you search, I did a search for s.t.e.m 400 WinLink, and it is about halfway down. It's the first groups.io page result on there. All right, NRE or anyone else on that, trying to get an s.t.e.m 400 set up for packet radio, KISS mode, TNC, anything like that, go ahead.
This is NRE. I appreciate the effort you went to try to look and see what you could find. I've looked and not been encouraged, but I'll continue to look, and I appreciate everyone's help tonight. Thank you. Back to net, KE0NRE.
W0TX repeater.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, that's an interesting issue there. Yeah, that's too bad. You wouldn't be able to get that done. But yeah, maybe there's something out there. So yeah, definitely let us know. All right. Anyone else on that at the moment? Please call now. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and throw it over to Jonathan. KE0 the net is yours. Go ahead.
Evening, Jerome and the net. Actually, I have two questions. But my initial question is, I have a portable vertical antenna, and it's tuned to 20 meters. And my question is about counterpoise. Does the counterpoise ever affect the SWR? I'm guessing not, but I was curious. And then does length come into play? KE0 back to net.
AA0JK.
Yeah, AA0JK, go ahead.
The answers to those two questions are yes and yes. Jonathan, what are you doing?
The vertical is tuned to 20, and I'm using a 33 and a third foot counterpoise. I was just curious about SWR. Go ahead.
Okay, your SWR is your reading for your mismatch in impedance to your transmitter. Your counterpoise, you should try to get to at least a wavelength for your frequency there for 20 meters. And if you can't do that, an artificial ground might help a little bit. MFJ makes one, and I don't think you really will gain a whole lot there versus how much you have to spend. But, get your counterpoise as close to a half wavelength for 20 meters, and you should be just fine. But as far as chasing your SWR, you should be just fine with an appropriate counterpoise. Let us know what how that turns out. AA0JK.
All right, thanks there, Fred, for the follow-up on that. Yeah, this is all intermingling. It's all kind of all related for sure. Jonathan, or anyone else on that topic of counterpoise and effects with SWR and its relationship and all that, or anything else kind of related, or anything else you'd like to bring up, please call now.
JK.
Yeah, AA0JK. Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, I've got something similar to what Jonathan is talking about. I acquired a antenna here that I'm playing games with here, and it's inside the house of all places. It needs to be outside, but I digress. I've got it hooked up with a counterpoise that I have hooked to an artificial ground, an MFJ artificial ground, and in the receive mode, I noticed quite an increase in the reception of the antenna when I adjust that artificial ground that I have hooked to my counterpoise. But if you put that, a half wave length piece of wire there for a counterpoise, your antenna tuner, your matchbox or impedance matching device, they call an antenna tuner, doesn't tune the antenna. But just use your antenna tuner and let it tune up accordingly, and you should just be just fine.
All right, thanks there, Fred A0JK. Appreciate the follow-up again on that. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Does anyone else have any other traffic comments or questions or any other check-ins at the moment? Please call now.
Question?
I think there may have been a double in there. I did hear somebody state the word question. There was somebody else in there. Go ahead and call back with your calls once more. Sorry about that.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Foxtrot Quebec.
Okay, yeah, AFQ. We'll go with you for just a moment. Go ahead.
So I was watching a YouTube video the other night, and the presenter was talking about the dBm of the noise floor is his location, and how that noise floor compares to other locations, right? Kind of urban, rural, things like that. My question is, how do I measure that on my VHF radio? What exactly? I'm assuming I'm looking at something on my pan adapter, probably. What do I look at? How do I measure my noise floor?
The meter on your radio?
All right, good question there, Troy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the traditional, in analog way, you could use the meter on your radio. You could also buy like a $20 software-defined dongle, and you could see a good chunk of the spectrum at once, a few megahertz at once, and see a good waterfall of it. And yeah, once you can get your noise floor measurably lower, you can definitely see differences in the quality of things you got, of the things you have going on. So yeah, you would just use an SDR dongle, and you would kind of just need to know the frequencies at which some RFI of devices around you would emit, and kind of go around and look for it and see where things increase, where RF emissions are coming from, and then in general on the amateur bands and bands that shouldn't have any noise floor technically, you'll see it lower. So you could just use a waterfall spectrum to kind of if you could try to make some sort of Faraday cage or something, you would see the noise floor at negative 145 dB at the lowest on the waterfall, and it's really only the noise around us in the city that's creating it to go up. So that's my suggestion as well too.
W0TX repeater.
Comment.
Yeah, A0JK, comment, go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of noise floor, for the next 48 hours or so, expect there to be a higher than normal noise floor. We have just been walloped by a solar wind stream from a pretty large emission from the sun, and it has finally reached us, and you're going to hear quite a bit of noise, or especially your noise floor there, from that solar wind as it passes by. It just here, just in the last couple of hours, reached us, and as it passes by, you'll notice that your noise floor and your is going to raise quite a bit. They say we could reach a level of a KP7 level, KP index, which is pretty substantial. So if you wonder what all the noise is there in poor band conditions, that is why. AA0JK.
Perfect. Thanks there, Fred, for the follow-up on that as well. Yeah, and I didn't bring up too much here, but yeah, ARL has, I mean, it's just your regular suspects. I mean, it's power lines. It's all the stuff in your home. Anything running, it doesn't even have to be RF. It's just a lot of emissions of EM, electromagnetic, really just bleeds into the different spectrums. So everything around us, you just have to really make sure your things are grounded and bonded, and make sure that everything is isolated as much as possible. Yeah, but we have more LED lights nowadays and things like that. That technology hinders. I'm not too sure, but yeah. Anything else on that? AFQ or anyone else? Go ahead.
AFQ, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to go hunting for this stuff. Thanks. It makes sense to me. I guess it only gets awkward when we start to unplug the neighbor's appliances. KF0 AFQ.
Well, there's a circuit breaker in the back of the building there. Go throw a few of those on the neighbor's house.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good all there. Yeah, I'd have to find a photo, but I think somebody's taken an SDR out just camping, and if you do that, your noise floor is just nothing out in the middle of nowhere, and you can see the difference just immediately out in the middle of nowhere, where you have nothing around you and really have no electronics really, other than just a radio and something like that. So very cool. Anyone else on the topic of noise floors, how to detect them? I mean, it's just really the base level of noise that you hear on your radio when you're hearing things. I mean, it's all affected by all the electronics around you. So anyone else on that topic or any other topic, or I might take a moment to take some formal check-ins here, actually. All right, sounds good. Yes, my name is Daron, call sign Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. If you've just tuned in, I am Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. It's an on-air meeting for amateurs seeking help, and Elmers giving their time to help us. Everyone is welcome to join in. If there is anyone who wishes to check in at this time, please do so with your call sign using ITU Phonetics, your name, and state if you have traffic or questions for the net. We're also taking check-ins online on YouTube.com/WEREGR8 if you do not have a ham license. So please call now on the air. All right, one more time. This is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. If you're tuned in to 145.490 or 448.625 and you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, please do so now with your call sign, your name, and let us know if you have traffic or questions for the net. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I don't really have too much this evening, but I'll throw it out once more. If anybody has any comments, questions, anything you'd like to bring up for the net, please do so. Otherwise, I can pass a couple bits of traffic here.
S.t.e.m comment.
Yeah, KE0 S.t.e.m. Jonathan, go ahead.
Hey, Jerome. I'm going to throw out... there's going to be a fox hunt coming up on December 20th. It's informal, put on by KN0CFN, CFM, Mike, Robert, and he's done a number of these, and he invites anyone and everyone to get in on it if they want. The boundaries are 120th on the north, I-70 on the south, I-25 on the east, and Indiana on the west. But yeah, it's just to get out with your tape measure antenna and see if you can fox hunt. He said more the merrier, so I thought I'd throw in a plug because I'm really looking forward to doing a fox hunt. KE0SUM.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning. I think you had said Kilo November 0, Charlie Foxtrot Mike. Was that correct?
No, it's N0CFM. Okay.
Gotcha, perfect. I got you that time. November 0, Charlie Foxtrot Mike, N0CFM Robert. All right, yeah, very, very cool. Is he a part of the like the Colorado QRP club, or how can we find out about that online? Do you know?
Actually, I think he's just kind of setting up casually. Email him on QRZ, and he gets back with you. It's very informal, but it's fox hunt, so it should be fun. Something to do on a December morning. But I'll talk with him more and get back with you. It's a couple weeks away.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I just know the Colorado Pure QRP club had used to mention fox hunts a lot as well. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, very informal. So yeah, I'm sure you could probably just listen on the air and maybe and listen in, and maybe you can find that stuff. It looks like he has some presence online, so you can maybe track him down online too. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Jonathan.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Does anyone else have any other comments, questions, topics? We have plenty of time here this evening, or any other check-ins. Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I didn't have too much that I had found over the last week. It's been pretty quiet, maybe during the holiday season. Things are just slowing down just a little bit, and that's okay. Everyone needs to take their time to themselves and end this year. Hopefully we'll begin a better year next year, and we'll see. So over on rtl-sdr.com, another great blog. Plenty of stories over here. Let me drop here for a moment. We were speaking last week about the HackRF SDR, which is a transceiver. And this just another iteration of, and we were speaking about very similar to this sort of story. This gentleman used a SDR to not do a simple relay attack, which is basically listening into his key fob, unlocking his door, or locking the door, etc., and then replaying it. He used a more advanced technique called roll jam. They've posted a few times in the past. So that is, let's see here. It allows an attacker to break into a car by defeating the rolling code security offered by wireless key fobs. Back in DEF CON 2015, an information security at an information security conference, Sammy Kamkar presented a method for creating a $32 roll jam device that consisted of two 433 megahertz transceivers controlled by an Arduino. So that was back in 2015, and we have come a long ways since then. So security all around us, and a lot of RF around us. Over on the same blog, we've spoken about somewhat in the past, and it's definitely gone through different iterations. We're not talking about the Nano VNA, Nano Vector Network Analyzer. They're now at version 2+. And this is kind of an open source hardware, open source firmware, software, and it's all kind of come from the community, but different manufacturers have been able to roll with it and then upgrade things over time. So it's now at a price of $64.95 USD, free shipping, a price increase in the future apparently. It's a low-cost vector network analyzer which can be used to measure and tune antennas, filters, and cables. It's manufactured and designed by HCQS Plus OOCOM. Let's see, it's a newer 2.8 inch screen. Let me drop for a moment. It has 2 times faster sweep speed compared to the older model. Price includes calibration kit, which consists of 2 high-quality SS405 cables and a short, open, load, and through kit. Those are the little caps that you get with it to screw in onto the S1 and the S2 or S0 S1 connectors. And so over on their site, they are going to be coming up with an enclosure as well. Very neat. It's going to be a rugged plastic and comes with a stylus, and it's come quite a bit of ways. So rtl-sdr.com. It's going to be available on their store coming here soon, or I think is now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Does anyone have any other comments, questions, traffic, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net? I don't have too much more this evening, but if you have anything you'd like to bring for the net, please call now.
This is Kilo Charlie 3, Delta X-Ray Lima, Brandon. I'm a new member. It's my first check-in and no traffic.
Whiskey Delta 0, Echo Delta Hotel West, and I'm in Golden just for a check-in, please.
All right, thank you there for the patience. This is K1DBC Net Control. Excellent. Thank you so much both for being here. And Brandon, thank you so much for checking in here. KC3DXL, I believe, is what you had stated. I'm glad you had checked in here, and thanks for being a new ham. And WD0EDH, Wes, thank you so much for checking in as well.
Thank you for getting me in, WD0EDH clear.
All right, anyone else just at the moment who'd like to check in for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, please do so with your call sign, your name, and let us know if you'd like to check into the net. Or have any comments or questions, please call now. All right, Brandon. Just wanted to roll back. If you have a moment, how did you find us?
This is KC3 DXL, Brandon. Found you online. I'm not real new to the area. I'm still on active duty in the U.S. Army stationed here in Denver. Was in Korea for the last 3 years. And so, although I've been in the area for a little while, I'm just kind of dusting off the ham skills that I've atrophied for a while. I'm a general, licensed ticket holder, and so really looking to get back into the hobby and we'll retire in Denver next summer after 30-something years on active duty, so looking forward to getting more involved.
Question?
Well, excellent. Yeah, thank you for your service. Great to hear about that on all fronts, and great to hear retiring soon. Very, very cool. Yeah, great to hear more on the air as well. AA0JK, go ahead.
Yes, Brennan. I was just curious where you were stationed in Korea. I spent some time in Osan.
This is KC3DXL. I was stationed up in Dongachon and Uijeonbu at Camp Red Cloud in Casey, and my family was down in Yongsan for about 3 years. So I was generally north of Seoul at that time.
W0TX repeater.
Getting close to the DMZ. Okay. Yes. Thank you for your service. I know that was quite an experience for me, going up to Panmunjom. And but I was Naval Air, and we were doing reconnaissance missions. But very good. Hopefully to hear you again here on the net. AA0JK.
This is Brandon, KC3DXL. If I could just follow up, Korea is a much different place. So even up in Uijeonbu, which you'll remember from the show MASH, there's a Kotsko right outside the Camp Red Cloud location. KC3DXL, thank you very much for this informative net. I'll return the net control.
All right, sounds good. KC3DXL, this is K1DBC. Yeah, absolutely. It's our pleasure to be here. So excellent. Yeah, definitely you and anyone else rusty in skills or wanting to get back into it, we're always here, always happy to get you back in and help you out. So glad you're here. So excellent. This is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Does anyone else have any other comments, questions, topics, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net or any other check-ins? I have maybe one other thing I can bring up, but if anyone else has anything, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Nothing too on topic at the moment over on hackerday.com, but always all sorts of electronics and definitely interrelated things. I mean, the one of the things on the top here is space is radioactive and how to deal with cosmic rays, and it goes into a very in-depth article about the doses on the ISS and just everything that's done to prevent long-term issues. So there's all sorts of stuff over hackaday.com, HACKADAY.com. looking at a photo over on reddit.com, reddit.com/r/amateur radio. That's the top post right now. It's an amplifier experiment. Let's see. Geez. Talking about kind of all the milling and things like that. I think they have probably a post about really what we're looking at here, but it's just a really nice photo of some PCB work and RF experimental 4 watt at 7 to 14 megahertz, a new record for his attempts. It's also first time using milled PCB and a few other things. So his schematics and just kind of goes to show you what you can do at home, really with the right tools, or if you have a hacker space and things like that. And PCB etching, it's pretty more common nowadays. So over on amateur radio at reddit.com/amateur radio as well. Don't have too much more at the moment. We did have a amateur radio testing session over the weekend. Thanks to KFC or AFQ, lent us his space there to use. We had a couple of people come in and test, and luckily they both eventually passed. One took a little bit a second try, but don't we all sometimes? So congratulations to. Gosh, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but it's spelled Andrzej. I believe he was from Poland. Andre, I forget actually. New call sign, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Charlie Uniform X-Ray. And then we had Gerald, KF0CUY. So congrats to them. And we had an incredibly quick turnaround time, especially saying it was just this past Saturday, and Tom Kashowski was able to receive their call signs about 6 hours ago. So congrats to them and anyone else on the air now. So that would be the last session we have, but if you go over to hamstudy.org, I believe is what it is. You can find a session on there, and you can type in your zip code, and there's remote sessions and local sessions online as well locally. All right, this is K1DBC net control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I'm not sure I have much more at the moment. It is just a little bit quiet at the moment, and just everyone trying to recoup from the year and gather their thoughts and try to move into a better year. But with that, I'll throw it back out to the net. Anyone else have any other comments, questions, anything else? We have about 10-15 more minutes here on the net. Any other comments, questions, check-ins? Please call in. All right, yeah, I will just going through my YouTube subscription feed. I mean, we have a lot of there's a lot of pretty good YouTubers out there. D-Lab Electronics has a pretty good site. He has he does a lot of vintage repair of equipment. So if you search for D-Lab Electronics, I can't remember how I came about him, but yeah, just want to maybe give him a shout out. He does a lot of good videos there too. Let me find one other here, maybe. EEV blog, we've spoken about him before, but I'll give him another mention. EEV as in electrical engineering, and then V for video blog, EEV blog. It is, God, for some reason his name is escaping me. Dave Jones. He's an electrical engineer in Sydney, Australia. And he does a lot of good kind of debunking and kind of just good kind of hard science and a lot of good teardowns, and he has these kind of good mailbags, and he just kind of gets electronics from people and does pretty good teardowns, and just has really good insight on electronics and kind of just a lot of things overall. So yeah, EEV blog, if you search for that on YouTube, or I think it's youtube.com/EEV blog, and he has a second one just with the number 2 after it, and that's kind of just some miscellaneous things, kind of more teardowns. He kind of goes into his home solar things, and he has one of his cool things is dumpster diving. Let me drop for a moment here.
W0TX repeater.
So he is in a business park. He rents an offices in a business park, and businesses over time are getting rid of computers and electronics, and so he'll often find kind of really neat equipment. So yeah, EEV blog, Dave Jones, EEV blog 2, pretty good mentions. Okay, I really don't have too much more else. I wish I could bring up the link here. There's a pretty cool just kit that I remember seeing from back in the day. It was a soldering kit for a Christmas tree. Just kind of being on holiday season here. You might have to buy it online, but it might just be kind of a neat thing to do, where it's just basically a PCB board of a Christmas tree and it just LEDs, and it's just a good experiment project to get into as well. So yeah, I have it brought up on here. Some some capacitors and some diodes, and some LEDs. So just kind of a cool project too, if you have one during the holiday season.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead with the comment.
AA0JK. Yeah, just a note. This month is Youth on the Air month. Youth on the Air month. So everyone encourage the younger folks there and interest in ham radio. So keep your ears open there as you're tuning around the bands for the younger folks, or if there's anybody in the family or relations there that show an interest there in ham radio, promote the hobby. AA0JK. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, absolutely. Promoting the hobby, and it's a good season to do so, and yeah, good time of the year. YouthOnTheAir.org for more info on that, and then they'll probably make mention of it. There's a Santa net that comes up. There's lots of and especially nowadays during COVID, a lot of this remote. This is a great time to promote this kind of stuff. So yeah, YouthOnTheAir.org for more info on that. Thanks there, Fred. Okay, with that, I will throw it out. For any other last-minute comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net, please call out.
Kilo 0 Lima Papa Romeo Lanier and Inglewood, late check-in.
Hi there, Lanier. Good to hear you. Merry Christmas. Have a good holiday.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Lanier. K0LPR.
Well, there's a simplex net that's conflicting with this DRC net. But last week I was on the simplex net. They couldn't hear me. There was a very shrill, like a siren noise. So it was a bust. So I got on again tonight, and everything was good. I was on my 897 Yaesu, and I don't know what was causing it. I didn't do anything different. I shut off my overhead lamp. I shut off the two laptops on my desk, and that didn't improve the signal last week. But this week, I'm not having that issue at all on that simplex net. Do you have any ideas what might have caused it, or would it have just been poor propagation? K0LPR.
Which frequency?
Give me a second. One 45550.
Okay, thank you. We'll keep our ears open.
Oh, no, you don't need to test it. I don't need a signal report tonight. Everything was working well tonight. I just don't know what was causing that shrill noise. But they said it was working fine today.
Okay, are you talking about your radio or some interference on that frequency from outside the shack?
It was on that frequency on the inside. I'm speaking on the radio right now, the Yaesu 897. But I don't know why I had that shrill siren last week, but I don't have it this week. So everything's back to normal now, but, I did everything last week when we were talking, shut everything down except the radio. Then I moved to a different radio, the 2900, and that radio was working just fine. So, I decided tonight to get on again, and everything, like I said, was working fine. My signal report was 57, 58. But what would cause a siren sound?
Oh, the mysteries abound. Wow, don't have any suggestions there, Lanier, but going to have to ask around. That sounds interesting. But if anybody has any suggestions there, pass it along to us so we can make note. But boy, that's a good one, Lanier. Don't have any suggestions.
Radio responds. So basically I call it infinite.
All right, thanks there, Fred A0JK. This is K1DBC. Yeah, the only other thing I could think of is on at least my Anytone, there's this man down setting which triggers an actual alarm, and I think a basic Bofang may have the same thing too, maybe. But some radios may just have this, at least on the Anytone, they call it a man down alarm or tip over alarm, and it sounds like an actual just siren noise. And I know I've accidentally triggered that. I don't think I was pushing to talk at the moment, but that's the only thing I can hear of that. But as far as if it was just an actual, maybe just radio, just noise issue, yeah, I'm not too sure. That is kind of odd that you would hear it once and not again. All right, great question, though. Yeah, and I got you checked in, and yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, happy holidays to everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. With that, if anyone else has any other comments, questions, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net, any other net check-ins, anything else, please call now.
W0TX repeater.
Okay, not hearing too much. I'll go ahead and at least pass some club business and then maybe take any other last-minute check-ins here. So our next meeting is going to be December the 16th, so next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Presentation topic is Having Fun with VHF, presented by Bob Witt, K0NR. He's going to present Having Fun with RF, which includes a discussion on some VHF basics, contesting, and operating summits on the air, also known as SOTA. He enjoys a wide variety of activities, HF through HF. As an author, he has written for QST, CQ, CQ of HF, and QRP Quarterly. Has a passion for VHF mountaintop operating and is active in SOTA. Recently published his book, VHF Summits and More. Discusses introductory VHF, UHF topics and operating activities, and can be found exploring Colorado Mountains, always with ham radio in gear. This is going to be online. You can find more info at W0TX.org, Whiskey 0 Tango X-ray.org. It takes place on Google Meet, and there is a link there. The presentation starts at 7 p.m., but at 6 p.m. we will have an Elmers session, which is similar to this net, just a general Q&A, show and tell, whatever you want it to be. Ham radio, electronics, everything all included. So all online. You do not need to be a ham radio operator to put your voice out there and bring things up. So everyone is welcome to that. Non-ham operators as well can be in on the conversation. So W0TX.org for more info on that. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Always check out our club page, again, W0TX.org for net listings, repeater coverage, trading post. So if you have any questions about the club, W0TX.org, you can find more info and you can get in contact with us. And there's an officers page, or it's just really all the volunteers and staff, and you can find contact info for everyone there too. So with that, I will throw out one final call. Anyone else? Any other check-ins, comments, last-minute things? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I will start to wrap things up here. Again, more info on the club, W0TX.org. If you wish to contact the Learning Net with topic suggestions or to set a date to act as net control operator or guest Elmer, you may do so via email at drclearningnet@gmail.com. But we're very casual, so you can jump in any Wednesday night, and we're more than welcome to tutor you through a session like this as net control. Again, you can visit our public mailing list, groups.io/G/ham learning net for links to material on past net topics. Again, also youtube.com/WEREGR8. You can find past meetings. We've accrued quite a few here, going back to around May, but more steadily since I think June or July or so. But yeah, a lot of nets and a lot of meetings that we've had on here. So go check that out as well. This evening we had a total of 17 check-ins, and we'd like to thank and appreciate everyone who checked in. Especially appreciate and thank our Elmer. Thanks to the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use the repeaters for this net. We invite you to join us on the third Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. for an Elmer session prior to the regularly scheduled Denver Radio Club meeting at 7 p.m. Again, this will be next week, the 16th, December the 16th. More info, W0TX.org. Everyone is welcome. All stations, please stand by while the repeaters are placed into normal mode.
PL on.
All right, thanks everyone for being here. Hope everyone is doing well, and we will be in touch next week. Definitely just don't hesitate to come join us on the air at any given times. Reach out via email, via phone, however you need. Any need assistance, don't hesitate to reach out. So this is K1DBC, 732 all. I am clear.